There is certainly a lot of hatred in the world, and we can discuss some of the categories that apply in this connection. So, uh, the first, we can go from worst to best. The first category that applies in connection with hatred and antisocial behavior um, would concern the individual that is good for no one, including him or herself, starting with him or herself. Meaning, at a certain phase of development, a certain screwed up phase of development, an individual is unable to have healthy relations with anyone whatsoever, even close family members, individuals that could be close friends, and most of all oneself. This, however, is a relatively small portion of the human race at any given time. How small is tough to say, obviously, probably big enough to where it's hundreds and hundreds of millions of individuals, but altogether comparatively small. The next then phase would be individuals that are able to have close and affectionate relations with certain people, such as my people, my family, my friends, my community, my team. And yet, that um, do not work on their character and therefore project all their inner evil outward onto the other, whoever that other might be. Meaning, think, for example, two opposing soccer teams. I can be perfectly able to uh, have family, have friends. I'm a perfectly socialized individual in the normal connotation of the term. In fact, I came to this soccer match with my family and friends, but the other team is them. It's they. They're evil, and whatever aggression and hatred I have towards myself, I express it outwards towards them, and it can go from just a friendly kind of back and forth to unfortunately exceptional violence, even in the context of a soccer game or something like that. Never mind in the context of countries clashing. So this would probably be the majority of instances of hatred and antisocial behavior of the kind in question that we see individuals that to themselves and to their own kind can be fine. Right, I come home to my family and I take care of my kids and my spouse and this and that. But if you're against me, if you're the other, then I'm willing to hate you and go to war with you and kill you and so forth and so on, up to and including killing and otherwise. We would think, oh, well, if somebody's able to torture another human being and brutally murder them, kill them, then they must be pathologically antisocial in the first class. Not so. Right? It could be individuals in the first class might be capable of very bad things, but it does not follow that all who are capable of them are in that first class. They can be in the second class, where, again, the real human beings, those whom I consider to be real human beings, my friends, my family, I'm great. I'm providing kind of a mother or father, whatever the case might be. But in aggrandize me enough, in time of war, I'm a guard, I'm a soldier. Yeah, I'll do whatever to you, right? So that's the second class. What's the third class? What's the best here? Well, it would be where I conceive myself as a sort of microcosm of the world, and I realize that whereas naturally and normally we say, of course, here's me, and there's the other, political party, the people from the opposing nation, this and that. Well, when I go to sleep, all that is gone. And when I wake up, it comes back. So it seems to follow what's in my nugget, the so say. I just to so express it. I go in a coma, may we be spared, for 20 years. All that is gone. The geopolitical, the other soccer team, all that is gone. So when I wake up, hopefully, it's in me that it emerges. Right? So I conceive myself then as a microcosm of the world, and all the evil that normally I would project, I find it in me, and I work on myself, and I improve my character. And in this case, I don't really have too much hatred left to project and expel outward at you, and you, right? Because it's all in here. And in that case, I'm able to genuinely will the good of any and all others, irrespective of, uh, you know, anything about them. Now, me willing their good doesn't mean that in any and all cases I promote the desires of others, because that's different than willing somebody's good. So let's say my child has a desire to starve themselves because they have a distorted self image. If I will their good, it doesn't mean that I promote this disorder of theirs. Right? It doesn't mean say, oh, well, yeah, you should starve yourself because I'm a good person and therefore I just help other people fulfill their desires. No, one person might have a desire to kill somebody else, unfortunately. One person might have a desire to troll somebody on the internet. One person might have a desire to do many destructive things. Being good doesn't mean just fulfilling people's desires, it means willing their good. It means hoping that they become ordered, sane, moral, mature individuals. So if I find the evil in myself and don't project it, then that is all basically that I can do. Concerning others is willing their good, which again is different than simply hoping that their desires are satisfied. Normally, in the second class, I can try to satisfy my own desires and those of the people around me. I want to eat, so I feed myself, and my kids want to eat, so I feed them, and my spouse wants to eat, so maybe I cook for my spouse. But the other, the enemy on whom I am projecting, is the bearer of all the evil that is inside of me, all the disorder and all of the untutored, unrestrained aggression, all that kind of stuff. Right, so how can I then will the good of that person on whom I'm projecting? It's preposterous. I know it could be a group that I project on. I don't like people that have a different hair color than me. Right? And all of the nonsense in me, I just throw on them. How can I will their good? It's a contradiction in terms. We get the point? It's preposterous. I can still maybe fulfill their desires in terms of business. The person with the other hair color comes to me as a barista and I give them coffee, sure. But to will their good, to hope that they're everything that they can be, to hope that they realize their own potentialities, that would preclude them from being that receptor of my projection. We get the idea, the whole point. I can project on you because I say you're evil. If I will your good and hope that you're good, I won't be able to project on you. You're not going to help me then in fulfilling that function. So I cannot want that in this state. Only when I find the bad in myself, that is when I can will the good of another truly, because I don't need anybody to fulfill that function of projection. We get it? So, anyways, three classes. One is where I'm truly antisocial. I cannot have affection for anybody, not even one person. Those cases are comparatively rare. Cases such as are called, if we would put labels on them, extreme narcissism, extreme forms of neuroses, perhaps, extreme antisocial disorders, this and that. Comparatively rare, still millions and millions of us, of course, but all the same, statistically speaking, comparatively rare. Next class, the biggest class, is those of us that are able to have affection for those like us. Right? For my team, for my soccer team, right, or otherwise, I can have affection and I can feel the sense of unity with others, and I can cooperate with others, and that's normal. That's average. Let's not be below average. At least be average. But in this state, I am projecting outward, and therefore I need the other to project on and say that is the bad one, that is the evil one. Third phase, I find that bad and that evil in me. Then I no longer need anybody to project on, and I can simply concern myself with the good of any and all others, with willing the good of others. Now, that has to be attained to, and if I simply try to reconfigure my self image real quick and I say, I'm very cosmopolitan, I don't see ethnicity or affiliation, I just see people, right? Probably not, right? I'm probably just assuming a self image as that kind of person. What I really need to do is to face myself. When I really face myself, again, in all my energy and effort is exerted in improving my own character and in slaying the lower selves, so to say, that I have. The greedy self, the lustful self, the lazy self, all that kind of stuff. All my effort is going there. then yeah, I'm not gonna then in that case need anybody to project on. In fact, I won't have anything left, hopefully, to project on, and then I can will people's good. So it has to be genuine. But if it's genuine, that's kind of where we want to strive toward the phase that we want to strive toward, and we can do so and think about it. Thank you for listening.